Okay, this is the second half of the economic choices video. I just didn't have enough time. So this part is really short. It's just one slide. Here's what I wanted to talk about. We are going to be talking about a lot of different economic models in this class. And economic models are going to be kind of think of like economic models as being like the equivalent in science class is something like a model of the solar system, okay? So think about this model of the solar system, which by the way is like really simple looking here. But what's the purpose of a model like that, okay? It's first of all, it's very simple, right? And so they're trying to make it easier to understand. And so they're have a visual representation of what it looks like, and you can kind of make some predictions about some basic going-ons here. Obviously, there are some inherent problems with it, doesn't examine every single detail, but that's what it does. So economic models are very similar in that respect, and so economic models simplify reality. We're bringing it down to the basics, okay? And it's going to make some assumptions. So what you will find when we talk about economic models, we're going to talk about one in the next video, is that when we talk about economic models, they make assumptions. We're assuming a lot, okay? And that's because we are simplifying reality. So you just have to be aware that there are assumptions happening. You also have to keep in mind that economic models take small steps. Okay, so it says big journeys begin with small steps. Economic models do that. They will go and take one small step at a time. Why do you do that? Well, think about again, going back to science class. Why do you go in an experiment and add one small thing at a time? Why don't you change everything at once? Well, the reason being is that way you can see the change slowly happen over time, and you know what actually caused the change. Same thing with economic models. What we will find is that when we do this, we're going to take some small steps at a time to be able to see those changes happening. Economic models can change over time, however, because the economy changes over time. One big thing, for example, in the United States and in the world, the population is growing. If we have more people, what happens to the amount of stuff we can produce? It increases. So our economic models should be able to reflect change because we're constantly changing. Just think about, for example, the progression of Apple. Look at these logos that they've had for over the years. I don't even know what that first one is. But again, things happen and change over the time in companies as well. So we have to have economic models that can change. And then lastly, economic models are going to use cost-benefit analysis. So just like we talked about in the last video with the idea of marginal benefit and marginal cost, we are going to talk about in economic models, we're going to be able to talk about costs and benefits. What's the cost of choosing to go here, but what's the benefit? So what you will find is that our first economic model is talked about in the next video, which is going to be the production possibilities curve. We'll have more economic models later on down the road. But that's it for today. Thanks.